All right. Well, we're just kicking off the stream. And welcome to the stream, you thousands of people. Nobody watching. Anyway, so very brief recap of where we were. So you guys had all met up in I keep wanting to say Brisbane. You met up in the town that starts with a B. Bennington. There you go. Bennington. I don't know why. Anyway.
It's me. I keep doing it.
Sorry?
It's me who keeps making you say that. I don't know what.
I think you go with Beddington instead of Bennington. Somebody said Bennington initially.
I say Beddington all the time.
So Bennington, you all met there. Some of you from the area, others traveling into it recently, and had been called to aid in the help of rescuing one wayward teenager who had been taken and kidnapped to ransom. Two of the kidnappers had been involved in a fatal shootout, killing wounding a few officers and killing a few of their companions before fleeing off into the trees the night before for the handoff of that ransom money. You went and you followed them into the forest to the north, and you spent your day traveling. You met a few hunters on the way. The hunter with his son was out there telling you that he didn't know anything about these people going by, didn't see anything to do with the kidnappers, but certainly felt for you. Somebody that Chester was familiar with, Mr. Galloway was familiar with, being a forest ranger from the area. And the young man told you of strange dreams involving drowning in water. So you continued throughout the day trying to track down one. Where is the names? Where's the names? One Sidney Harris and Eugene Clayton. Sidney Harris being the leader of this band. You believe one of them meant possibly to be injured, and they have fled back off into this forest to escape the capture. Otherwise, you eventually decided to bed down for the day. And after a quiet evening together, you all decided to sleep. And three of you, Mr. Watson, Miss Baker, and Mr. Brady each experienced disturbing dreams in the night. Woke up. Two of you found your sanity slipping slightly from where it was the day before. So you are once again now in fresh day out here in the woods. It's a fairly normal forest. Some sun shining through, occasional cloud cover. The day is warm for New England, but not incredibly hot. A little bit of mugginess in the air from the surrounding forest and lakes, but nothing too stifling. And you find yourself in the companionship of your newfound friends. A few of you having woken suddenly with screams in the night and gasps. So no doubt alerting the others to your fitful sleep. How do you proceed?
How do I feel? Like, do I feel a pain in my chest at all? Is there any blood in my mouth?
You do not. You feel fine. I mean, of everybody, you had what I believe was the least affecting of the visions. That it was certainly not a comfortable and nice experience, but your sanity is wholly intact from where it was the day before.
Would these dreams be something that Chester would have heard about in his time being in the forest, like something that he might have experienced himself?
That's a good question.
I don't think he would have slept. I don't think he would have slept too often in the forest. Maybe occasionally, like rarely. Most of the time, he probably would have gotten back to his home. But
I would say you would be familiar with the fact that nobody particularly spends much time, particularly deeper in the forest. As far as having like nightmares and stuff, as far as how far you are in, it is not something that you're familiar with, and you would be familiar probably with staying in the forest at the distance you are into the forest right now. But more broadly, like, yeah, you wouldn't have been trekking way deep into the heart of this forest and staying there overnight previously.
Yeah. All right.
Would I find it anything occultist? Strange, knowing that kid had a weird dream, and then now I'm having a weird dream.
Yes, I would absolutely say, in terms of your character, you would draw some connection from that, and feel that, whether rightly or not, that there is something mysterious going on here, potentially of the occult nature, given your proclivities.
Okay. Ben, 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 wake up!
He's deep in sleep.
Ben,
Heavy
and
sleeping.
I put a hand on your chest, side of your chest, and shake you, nudge, like push you awake.
What are you doing?
I had one of those weird dreams. I think something weird's happening. That kid having a dream, and now I'm just having a dream. I'm surprised I didn't wake you.
What are you talking about? We went to sleep, of course you're going to have dreams.
No, but this was not like something else I've had before. I'm telling you, something's connected here. I think it's strongly to do with the occult.
Stares at you for a couple seconds, slowly waking up.
It was. Have you ever experienced something in your sleep where it just seems so real?
A few times when I stayed at the country house up in Upland, Vermont.
Well, I'm telling you this dream. Think it was this forest. I don't know, but I heard something. I saw something, and I followed it in my dream, and then I heard something behind me, and I turned around, and then something was pushed into my chest, and I'm surprised you didn't wake up with me screaming. I was going to apologize to you, but it's clear you're a sound sleeper. Maybe it's that lavender scent that you wear.
I have a particular routine to ensure the most quality sleep. Although this is the worst sleep I've had since I had to stay at he shudders, hotel.
Well, I'm sorry if I startled you awake, but something very strange is happening here. I'm sure of it, and the color yellow for some reason keeps springing to mind for me, and I feel like I was following something yellow. I'm not sure, but I just thought you'd want to know, since we kind of seem to be interested in the same thing, and that's why you're here.
Well, I do happen to have some spare Epsom salts if you require better sleep tomorrow night.
I think that might put me in a deeper sleep, and I might be able to learn more. So perhaps it's worth a try. And then I'll take a swig of my moonshine gin, and I'll say, "Well, maybe it was this thing. Do you want some?"
He cocks an eye. It's a bit early for me.
Hair of the dog, you know. Get that thing going in the morning, and then I'll just go about doing my regular stuff and let James. I mean, not James. Let Benjamin take his time on doing what he does.
He's slow and meticulous.
So, Mr. Brady also had one of these dreams, right? Okay. I imagine Mr. Galloway is a light sleeper, so probably would have woken up.
So would this have been a dream that I would have like caused maybe a commotion or like maybe
Yeah.
like shuddered awake?
So for reference, in terms of game mechanics, like this might vary based on my choice, but generally, if you experience some kind of like impact on your sanity, you will probably have some kind of physical reaction to it. Technically,
Okay.
like technically in this case, I mean, like normally if you like make your sanity check, you're basically fine. But like the actual write up on these is usually like you gasped as you woke up. That like the dream startled you in some way.
Okay. Okay.
So I guess Chester would have kind of jumped when Mr. Brady also. I mean, like, you all right, Mr. Brady?
Yeah, I just something's weird. Like I don't usually have these kinds of dreams, and I just feel like it felt almost real, and I feel like I'm like have a headache from it, and I don't know. I'm not one to have nightmares like this. I usually sleep and I wake up, and then that's it. That's in the story.
Not used to sleeping in a forest, are you?
Can't say I've done it before.
Different experience than sleeping in bed at home.
Yeah.
You'll get used to it if we have to spend a couple more nights out here. Well, I think it's morning, so I guess we should start packing up camp and look about breakfast and heading back onto the trail.
Okay.
Anybody else doing anything before you make your way along the trail?
Waking up alone in the middle of the night, terrified. I don't think Nora really goes back to sleep, so she's just gonna like clean her gun until the sun comes up and people sound like they're getting up around her.
All right. Well, sorry.
I'll offer Thomas Watts the wire recorder. We'll say, I'm not accustomed to these kinds of sleeping situations. Perhaps I was too dismissive earlier. Record your dream here. Perhaps it's relevant to our search.
Okay, I'll record what I remember.
That's
All
okay.
right. You can get that done while you guys are striking your camp and getting ready to set out for the day.
But I would like to take a look around to see if any weird markings appeared overnight around us.
Sure. Give me a spot hidden.
I wish I went high with spot hidden now. Oh,
Oops. What did I just do?
hard success.
How did I drag? I didn't even know you could drag that out. I just somehow. Oh, there it goes. I just dragged out the roll pane. I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, really?
With a hard success, you do not find specifically any other signs of occult markings, but you do look very closely and do see normal signs of animals passing. Like that, you might have thought initially might have been some kind of marking was the signs of different animals from the forest passing in the night. So from what you can tell right now, you are in what is a normal and healthy part of the forest, despite the disturbing premonitions that you've had that would indicate otherwise.
No yellow leaves or anything like that.
No, exactly. That whatever you saw a vision of, this is not that location or is not happening here.
Roger that.
Would you mind popping over to the location map?
Oh, sure.
Thank you. Try and get my bearings. Awesome. And we're somewhere around the shootout area. That's at least where we started.
Yeah, so you are probably ways north of the shootout area, somewhere up sort of like this region by this point.
Are we like following that river?
Fact. 1 second. Can I not select ozone DM layer? There you go. Can you see that now? Number 3?
Mhm.
So number 3 was where you ran into the hunters, and you would be a little ways north of there. Don't worry too much about exactly what you see on this map here, is to give you an idea of roughly where you are related to what's been told. But yes, you are now like a day's march, half a day's march north, where you would be a little bit past that number 3. That number 3 being where you ran into those hunters.
And what I have noticed is that river like actually there, and are we like following the river?
You would know that the river is there. You're a little ways from it. You aren't specifically following that river at the moment.
Okay.
So you're continuing then, following the trail that you were following before.
Yeah, let's see if my rolls continue. Like they were
Yeah, I would say
last
you have a
session.
general idea of the direction that you're going, and I would say that you guys are spending much of the morning continuing on through the brush, and I can say you guys can give me whichever one you're better at: spot hidden or track.
I am very slightly better at spot hidden. So,
All of you can do so.
oh, everyone?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mr. Proctor just allows everyone else to do the work, follows along.
Jeez.
I'd be too deep in thought over my dream to be paying attention, in all honesty.
All right. Well, then, as you guys are continuing on your way, I would say Chester is still leading the way, and he's able to follow this core, like this trail that you guys have been following from the day before. But a few hours into your trek through the forest, Nora perks her ears up, or sees something just to the side, and calls the group to halt. Looking down, she points at at the brush and leaves that are lying in the path, and you can see a crimson streak running across just to one side. Looking closely, it is blood, and it appears to be breaking off from this trail in a direction to the left, disappearing off into to one side. Marking a clear trail that, from your perspective, Chester, it looks like it might diverge from the direction that you were originally.
So we've been following a blood trail up to this point, right? Or is
Yes,
it?
but not a significantly bloody trail.
Uh-huh.
Like this is clearly some like that like a guy may have gotten winged in that fight, but like this is definitely a more serious blood loss, most likely at this point compared to what you'd seen before.
So like something happened here, and then um, whether or not it was the people we're following, or some coincidence that happens to be on the same trail, but the person who got hurt here is not heading the same direction that we're following, right?
So basically, yeah, like you'd say that it looks like it's potentially something different from what you were following, but is also like a fresh trail cutting through the underbrush.
Okay.
Fresher?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It fresher, not specifically, but
So like it's not still warm or anything?
no, but it's definitely pretty new.
Okay. Nonetheless, Nora is on edge and creeped out, and she's going to pull out her handgun and just kind of keep it in her hand as she continues along.
Chester will say, I don't think I've seen anything like this in the forest before. But this trail leads a different way. This trail of blood. So the path that we're following with Harris's boys goes off this way, but this blood goes off a different way. So we kind of got a choice here. This blood trail, I'm kind of inclined to want to help if somebody's is hurting, but uh, the strong girl might be in more danger than whatever happened here.
We know for sure the one trail goes to someone relevant. The other one may go to someone relevant or a corpse at this point. It's hard to know. You're the tracker. Which one do you say we should follow?
How
And you
much?
do know that of course there was two of them heading off into the bush, one of which was injured from the site. So it's hard to know what exactly happened here.
Okay, and how much blood is here? Like, is it? It's enough to be worried about the person who's
Yes.
lost his blood?
Yes, it's a notably bloodier trail.
Okay.
Perhaps this person on this separate trail could help inform us on our quarry.
It,
They
it,
obviously had some kind of disagreement.
it could be that Harris ran into whoever was here and they had some kind of altercation. The other hunters, out of character, the other hunters, oh, I have my notes. Let's see, Brian and Arthur. Um, Alistair said they were deeper in the forest, right?
That's correct. That they had gone deeper. That he and his son had stayed on the outskirts because his son had, in particular, been feeling uneasy about it due to what you found out was his dreams.
Hmm. He said this might be Brian and his boy. Um, and if that's the case, I definitely want to go after.
No, if they're just the hunters, then that wouldn't really help us with our to find the strong girl.
But if they had an altercation with Harris and his boys, um,
Oh, I'm sure they'll be fine. You hunter folk are a resilient lot, are you not?
I mean it's up to the group, I guess. But my vote is to check on these that got hurt.
What do other people say?
I mean, we initially came out here for the girl and to bring the ones that need to come to justice to come to justice. I mean, if we have, I mean, I'm not against, seeing if others need our help. We're already out here.
Then really it comes down to if we feel like saving those who don't have wealthy people to pay for their disappearance. It seems all rather selfish if we don't follow those who might need our help, regardless of their financial situation.
Well, there are 5 of us. We could split up.
Uh,
That seems dangerous out here, but we could.
I wouldn't feel comfortable about splitting you guys up in this forest y'all aren't familiar with. But again, it's up to the group. My thinking is if Harris kidnapped the strong girl for money, he's not going to hurt her. So she is not to say safe, but in less immediate danger than these hunters here.
Well, remember from the crime scene, they did seem rather unhinged.
I mean, if this was all about money, that's all that's on their mind. They don't have the girl. They don't have any money.
And you can tell that this blood is fresh.
Yes, this is definitely what seems to be relatively freshly spilled blood.
We're going in circles and wasting time. Which direction?
Lead on,
I
if
mean,
you will,
obviously, there's
Mr.
also
Chester.
no reason. Oh, sorry, I was gonna say there's just no reason you guys also can't like check out one direction and double back and check the other direction briefly. Like there's other ways to navigate the forest potentially to get back on path. It's not like you were following a literal a literal trail of candies through the forest or something like that.
Do what you must, Mr. Galloway. We'll follow.
Well, I mean, like I have experienced and seen plenty of people die, ones without money, and who cares if these people have money or not? If they need our help, we should be helping them.
Well, that sounds like a consensus to me. So, all right, um, I'll follow the blood trail.
All right, so you guys break off along the side of the trail, following this trail of blood through the forest. You continue for not very long, just maybe about a quarter of a mile, half a mile, and working your way, seeing this blood continue splattered along various foliage and along this makeshift path that cuts through the underbrush. As you keep going, you look down right at your feet, Chester, as you're leading the pack, and you notice that there is a hunting knife just like lying in the ground. It is old, rusty, covered in sticky, semi-dried blood. You look up and you see just a little ways ahead a body lying in the ground.
I'll kind of put a hand up and say, "There's a body up ahead. I'm gonna go check it out." And
Mis-
I'll pull out my gun as I approach.
I'll hide.
Mr. Watts, my camera, please. This will need to be documented.
I'm hidden.
I'll
It's going to kill.
I'll like prepare my gun as well, but not really approach any closer unless he calls for me.
I'll have the shotgun at the ready.
Is the
Yeah,
body like? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say Brady will also equip his gun and get prepared.
So you walk forward, Chester, and you see a body lying there. It's a young male dressed in overalls, clearly like lying, potentially dead from what looks like a loss of a fair bit of blood.
Ooh. I'm gonna.
So Chester Mr. Galloway, would he likely have seen like dead bodies before?
I'm gonna say no.
Well
say
then,
no.
so in terms of seeing this in the midst of the forest, give me a sanity roll.
All right. Ooh.
All right, give me a D3. You lose one sanity point.
Chester kind of like he approaches, realizes it's probably a dead body, and then like that goes through his head, and he kind of like holds back, throwing up as he kind
Yeah, I
of.
was gonna say that probably would be the physical reaction from the failure on that sanity roll. You see him reel back in revulsion and fall to fall on his behind. The rest of you who are staying back as he stands back up and once again approaches the body.
I'm gonna kind of touch it with my foot a little bit to see if it moves.
It definitely does not.
Okay, and
You
then
all right there, Chester?
I think this one's dead, and I'll like touch my finger to his neck to see if I can get a pulse or anything.
Further back, you'll hear, "Is he dead?"
Pinch the middle of his nose. That's really painful. If he's faking it, he'll wake up.
I'm just trying to get a pulse.
Give me a first aid check.
All right. Pretty good at
I mean,
that.
I guess I would say in terms of checking pulse, you'd know how to do that. He does not have a pulse.
Okay.
Get a really
You
long
want to
stick.
discover more about how he died. First aid check. Or medicine.
Yeah. I mean, probably the blood.
Are you, the other ones of you approaching?
Yes, but he doesn't seem to be like jumping up and attacking anyone. I will cautiously edge closer and see what I can make out.
Yeah, is there a long stick that I can poke it?
So yeah, yes, there's definitely lots of sticks around. I would say
Just get
basically,
around.
any of you who are approaching, give me a sanity check if you are not familiar with seeing dead bodies.
Oh, I'm familiar.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mr. Watts is the only one I think is unequivocally familiar with seeing dead bodies.
As they're approaching, I want to like flip over the body to see if I can identify who it is.
Sure. So if you failed 1d3 sanity loss. Oh, and Thomas, I thought you said you're familiar with seeing dead bodies.
Oh, I clicked first aid. I wanted to see if I could.
Oh, first aid. Oh,
Yeah.
well, you can't figure out why he's dead. or at least he's clearly dead, but like he looks like lots of blood, but exactly details not sure.
With my complete lack of caring about this dead person, I'm going to see if I can figure out what happened to him.
Nice.
Ooh, Mr. Proctor loses 3. Mr. He is not ready for seeing this dead body, and immediately turns away in revulsion and cannot bear to turn around and look at it for a few moments.
Perhaps Mr. Watts, perhaps I'll hold off on the preparing evidence for the police.
Do you want some giggle juice to help settle your stomach?
He shakes his head and pulls out a cigar, lights it.
Giggle water. That's what I meant to say.
Okay, so anybody else wants to try and figure out whether or not? First aid, Nora, hard success. Okay, so in taking a look at the body, I would say first, Chester, you do not find any ID on him. He does have paint smeared on his overalls, and if you recall, there was the mention that there was an artist group somewhere in the forest that had traveled up from Boston. So there's not much other reason why somebody would be wearing a young man wearing overalls with paint on it would be out here. It's a very easy leap of deduction. And I would say, Nora, you can tell based on your first aid check that this man has steadily bled out over the last day or so. Clearly, having tried to work his way through the forest and try to get to safety while steadily bleeding. You can see that a haphazard effort to bandage his side has been made. That was not good enough as the wound continued to bleed.
Perhaps someone should say a word. Seems uncivilized to just. It trails off.
Chester will say, looks like one of those artists that came up from Boston. Just wrong time, wrong place.
It took him some time to die. I don't relish the idea, but perhaps we should try and follow the trail backwards, see if we can discern what exactly happened to him.
Is it like a bullet wound or a knife wound or?
Sorry, I thought that's a knife wound.
Knife wound. Okay.
Remember, we did pass by a bloody knife on the way
Yeah.
to the body.
It's still a valid question.
Did you pick it up?
Maybe he was trying to prevent the knife, got shot.
Yeah.
Did we pick up the knife or did we leave it?
I left.
No, I assume Chester picked it up.
Oh.
Did
I don't think Chester would have picked it up.
If he didn't pick it up, I'd gesture to Mr. Watts at the knife.
Yeah. I'll pick it up and see if it fits in the hole. No, I'm just kidding.
Jesus.
Hey, it doesn't quite go in, but if I push really hard, it fits perfectly. No, I won't pick it up because I assume the police.
But she's trying to eat a muffin, and the cat is just like, I am having some of this muffin.
Does it have the hash in it?
No, it is not a special muffin. It is just a normal. Oh, it's a lava cake muffin, so it's got like milky chocolate.
Really?
So it is special.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, give it to me.
So
Anyway,
I will do something like a cultist symbolism kind of thing for this dead body. Like, I don't know if they put coins over the eyes or makes like a wick or something out of sticks. So,
okay, I would say give me an occult check.
there it is. Oh, I've
You
got
can tell that by the chain around around his neck that this man is a Catholic. And based on your occult knowledge, you would surmise that Catholic burial rituals are probably best. It would be his preference in terms of how he should be looked after. Unfortunately, you are not a Catholic priest.
Nope. So I will go to do something, then notice that he's a Catholic chain, scoff at it, and just say, "Oh, I think he's one of your guys." One of you can prep or say something, I guess.
Good man of the Church of England.
That's right.
Well, Mr. Galloway, have we satisfied your curiosity?
Is there any more blood going forward? Like, does it look like any of the other ones were wounded? Any other artists?
No, the path of blood appears to lead. I suppose give me a spot. No, I already said it. No,
Okay.
the trail of blood seems to end here. You don't see any signs clearly of it continuing on.
Chester will sigh and be like, I guess. Looks like if anyone was with them, they're gone. We'll have to let the sheriff know when we get back. Um, just I'll pull out my map and like mark on my map where we are, roundabout where we are. Just to kind of make a note of where this body is.
I'll take a look at what you're doing and just ask which way are we headed?
So the path we've been following's been going north. I'll kind of like show you the map. So we're kind of following this river here, but not really. We're kind of adjacent to it, but we're heading north.
Are we heading over towards that lake area?
So the general direction you would have been following is north, very slightly to the east, kind of towards that lake, but sort of adjacent to it, parallel to it. But again, I would hesitate to make too many specific decisions around the map. The map is more of like a vague guide as opposed to like a writ truth as to exactly where you're going.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I was just surmising based on my dream. That was all. If there was many lakes in this forest.
Yes. So that one key thing, that lake does stand out as like there are obviously a bunch of very small lakes possibly in this area, but like that
Okay.
would be like the main lake that extends up towards the north.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was curious about. See if there's many lakes in the area, and if not, then I'd be wondering if we're heading up that way, and then start thinking more.
Yeah, you'd be potentially getting closer to it, but not very directly.
Okay.
While they're
And
looking at the map and stuff, can I take a look at the artist's body a little closer? And like, does he show any other signs of like a fight, but it was a prolonged fight, or does it seem like he was just kind of stabbed out of nowhere? Like, can I get any sort of sense of what happened sort of before this knifing?
You did a very good first aid roll. I would say that yes, the body has a variety of like bruises, cuts, and abrasions beyond the knife wound. But it would be very difficult for you to surmise whether these things happened before his hasty flight through the trees or during that, because he presumably, bumped into stuff and fell down things and smashed through various bushes and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Well, short of following his trail all the way back to where this happened, we may as well get back on our path, I suppose. We can't do much for him at this point.
Chester will nod in agreement and say, "Well, I guess I'll lead the way back and start heading back to the trail we were following."
All right, so you make your way back to that split off point where the trails diverged, and I would say in terms of your ability to have previously followed this blood trail, you can see that the blood trail does continue off in a slightly different direction, but you can also continue back the way that you were originally going to try and follow Sydney Harris and Eugene Clayton. So that's the direction you want to go. You're going to go after Sydney Harris and Clayton.
Yes.
All right. So you guys pick up back where you left off and continue on into the forest. The trail becomes a little more difficult to follow as you get deeper in. So I guess two of you can give me tracking rolls. Chester just killing it.
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely continue to pick up pick up the trail as you continue on. There is quite clearly a trail that you can see of different broken sticks and stuff like along the side of the path that's been forged through the forest, heading deeper and deeper in. As you continue through the day, it's starting to get into the afternoon. I would imagine you probably would stop briefly for a little bit of food to eat, but not for a proper camping. And you continue on, and as eventually you manage to stumble through the leaves and out into what looks like a clearer patch. Looking around, you realize that there are tire tracks in the middle of what is actually a cutout trail that is like a car road that passes through the forest. The trail disappears onto the road, and you look one direction and the other. Clearly, what appears to be a southwardly way that would head back towards civilization, and a way that heads roughly northward, that goes deeper and deeper into the forest.
Mr. Galloway, are you aware of any roads that should be in this location?
Would I be aware of this road?
Yeah, I would say you would be familiar with the fact that there are some logging roads that come out into the forest. Not a ton of them, and of course there was the actual survey team, which would have had to locate or would have had to have gotten to their site some way.
Yeah, I'll be like, there's some car roads throughout the forest for
If you want to
various
be more
needs.
sure, you can give me a navigation roll.
Okay, we'll do that then.
I suddenly remembered that's a thing, and you're good at it.
There it is. Apparently not.
No, not this time. So remember, you can push the roll. You can specifically if you wanted to do so. I don't know.
I'm not gonna push this roll. No.
I feel like based on the sun and stuff, you'd have a rough idea. This would be
Yeah.
more to confirm that you'd know very specifically where you are.
Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, I'll just be like, yeah, there are some roads throughout the forest for loggers and things like that. But there's no obvious trail to follow at this point, right?
Give me a spot hidden or track.
Okay. I was gonna say Chester would probably cross and to where the forest starts on the other side and kind of look to see if they went further into the forest.
I will try and help looking around for like broken branches and signs of passage.
Same thing. Well, so is there no 3D dice in this? I just suddenly realized we haven't had 3D dice.
Yeah.
Is that not a thing?
You have to enable it every time.
Well, everybody has to be enabled in every game for it to work. I do have mine on. Anyway, both of you look around very carefully, and you do not see any particular signs of people continuing on through the bush on the other side of the road. But I would say that Nora certainly sees some signs that there has been traffic that has passed this way, but whether it's specifically the most recent foot traffic versus cars is not really her specialty.
Well, it looks like wherever they were going, they followed the road at this point.
All right. Well, my guess would be they continued north because heading south at this point doesn't make too much sense. Just heading back to where they came from, essentially.
Well, north from here, where would you go if you needed first aid or medical help on the lowdown?
Well, I mean, Sheriff mentioned something about them having a hideout, right? So yeah, they'd probably run in to wherever their little hole is in the forest. And there's quite a few spots out here where could be located.
Well, maybe we follow the road for a bit, see if there's any obvious trails branching off.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, unless you guys say other words, you continue on your way, walking along this road for about another 30 minutes. As you are continuing, you hear the distant sound of an engine coming up behind you. It sounds like a truck is coming up the road.
I'll kind of motion everybody to get to the side.
Are you guys hiding or just waiting for a truck? I don't know why maybe you would.
I
I
don't know.
assume hiding.
Be in the shadows, kind of, so not super obvious, at least. Like,
Chester would not be hiding. I don't think.
All right,
Unless they all were like, "Hey, you need to hide." Chester would not be hiding.
it does seem like a rather unusual. Like everybody hide! There's a truck coming. It's like you are a posse out here to try and save somebody. There's no, you're not doing anything illegal. All right, so you see a large commercial truck heading your way, and it's trundling up the path towards you. There's a man driving it, and it's got a covered back area that is laden with supplies of some kind, but you can't see what.
I just kind of give a nod and a wave as he passes by.
The man looks out the window at you as you step off the path as the truck comes up, and he nods back as you wave to him and continues on his way.
Did I recognize the driver?
No, I would say no.
does he look nervous?
No.
Okay.
Was there any like markings on the truck, like logos or anything?
No, pretty standard, probably post-war surplus, like industrial truck. Jesus Christ, cat! Out of control. There's a cat rampage happening over here about Emily eating chocolate. Anyway, sorry. Yes, it's obviously like a generic work vehicle being used to haul some supplies. Again, you can surmise that it's got something to do with either logging in the area or potentially the survey team, whatever they're doing.
Before he passes, if it's possible, I'd probably mention to Chester, perhaps we could employ him to carry us farther up the path. My feet are starting to get sore.
Um.
Yeah, and I'll give you say you could try and flag him down.
Yeah, with that, Chester will be like, "All right," and I'll kind of like, the wave will kind of turn into like a motion for him to stop.
All right, so he eases over to the side of the road. He's obviously not going very fast on these uneven roads, and he leans over out the side of his driver's side window and says, "Hey, what you want? What you doing out here?"
Hey, I'm Ranger Galloway with the National Forest, and these people with me are we're out here looking for Mr. Strong's missing daughter. We were following the trail of the um, suspects, and their trail kind of ran into this road, and it looks like they followed the road for a bit. So my fellows back there were wondering if you could give us a lift down the road a little bit. We've been walking through the forest about a day and a half now.
Sorry to hear about that kidnapping, but I don't know nothing about it, and I ain't got time to be giving nobody any lifts. I got to head back with this pile of supplies for Mr. White.
Would I recognize the name Mr. White?
I don't think we actually have any kind of checks for, like, I don't know. Give me a luck roll.
Okay.
There isn't really like a, not like a history check or something. Okay, yeah. So Mr. White is leading up the survey team that is part of the geological survey that Mr. Strong has ordered.
So yeah, with that, Jester
I'll,
will
Mr. Proctor will speak up when it looks like he's about to drive on. Perhaps I could change your mind with some money. Pulls out his wallet.
He looks down at you and just says, "Not from around here, are you? Well, that's not what I'm looking for, and I got to get on my way. So if there isn't anything more important, I'm going to be driving off."
Jester will just be like, well, thank you for your time, and be seeing you.
Good luck finding that girl. And he just kicks the thing into gear and starts hauling out of there.
That usually works for me. Kind of looks back at the group disappointed. Puts his wad away.
So you find yourself once again on this path or this road as the truck trundles out of sight back towards the north and slightly to the east. The day is waning a little bit, but you're still not quite at dinner time, far off from sunset yet. Darker clouds are slowly rolling in from the west. It doesn't look exactly like it's rain, but a certain heaviness is setting into the air.
Mr. Watts, would you hold up for a second? I need to
Yeah.
check to see if I packed my umbrella.
I'll stop.
He shuffles through the bag that Mr. Watts is carrying and half pulls out an umbrella and puts it back. Looks pleased with himself.
You might find an umbrella a little unwieldy in the forest, but I'd be welcome to see you try.
Jester will say, if that brings some rain, that might make tracking a little harder. Hopefully, we find him before that turns to anything serious.
Best be on
Agreed.
our way then.
Sorry, what was that?
I
Sorry, was
just
that-
said
that-
agreed.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Emily talked, and then I could see you were talking at the same time. I couldn't hear it. But yes, okay, great.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so you guys continue along the path that goes through the forest, following along this trail. You don't see any particular signs to one side or the other of the path of somebody breaking off either direction, and you keep on following it on your way north. As the day grows long and the sun starts to set, the cloud cover in the distance breaks, allowing the sunlight to shine through. And everybody give me a hard spot hidden roll.
All right.
So at the top there's a toggle for harder as opposed to regular.
Rip.
Mr. Proctor coming in with the hard success 11. That's the outside bet there.
It has to be an accident.
As you're 100%, as you're walking along and you're all trudging, and Mr. Proctor, despite his good constitution, is not used to trudging through these conditions, and he pulls out his handkerchief and he's mopping his brow. And as he stops to lean back and stretches back, the light just shines over his shoulder on along the road and up to a ridge up ahead. And he sees something in the distance flash. And he would be familiar with the flash of a scope on a rifle from all the time that he has spent hunting. He'd at least be suspicious of something like that.
He kind of stops abruptly after and kind of squints and then Mr. Watts, I require my binoculars. There appears to be something reflective. And he pulls out binoculars and has a look.
What color is it?
Everybody give me a luck roll.
Ooh. Okay. Oh, I did a hard.
Oh shit! Yeah, I did hard too.
Mine would have been success with a 53.
The hell is with all these failures?
Damn.
Oh, interesting. It's technically a group luck roll. Is supposed to be the player whose investigator has the lowest luck makes the roll.
Oh,
Oh.
Not
60,
me.
I think I actually had the lowest with 55.
55.
Yeah.
And mine was a success. If it was a regular.
Well, there we go. So that's good enough. So I would say then that Mr. Proctor pulls out his binoculars, looking through them, and he sees a man with a rifle on the edge of the ridge up ahead along the side of the road. That doesn't rise too far above. He is clearly looking down at something and not looking through his sight at this very moment. Having been distracted at the point that you spotted him, and have in that period of time pulled out your glasses, your binoculars, and looked at him. You do not know how long that this situation will remain with him not seeing you and you seeing him.
He kind of awkwardly shuffles sideways into the tree line. There appears to be a man with some form of long-ranged hunting rifle. It's scoped.
Nora just like pulls the pistol up and ducks behind a tree.
Yeah.
Where? Where is he?
Chester will kind of usher anybody who is not heading to the forest to head into the forest and then get into tree cover.
He kind of points out the general area that he found him in.
So easily enough, easily enough. It's a classic. I don't know. So easy to say as DMing a game. Easily enough, you are able to point out to the rest of your companions where the posse, where this fellow is up on the ridge. The man is clearly trying to stay hidden, but keep an eye on the road behind him, watching through the scope of his rifle from time to time for anybody coming in. He presumably must have just ignored the truck as it went past, since you see no sign of it. It is up to you how you deal with this, because right now he does not see you. But if you would like to try and approach him, you will have to make each of you have to make a stealth roll to see if you are successful in doing so.
Mr. Galloway, I'm used to hunting grouse, not humans. How should we proceed?
So, I was gonna ask, which side of the road is he on, and which side are we on?
Okay, so to set the scene, I would say that the road at this point is extending ahead of you, maybe about 100 meters, 100 yards, and at the top of like a small rise, there is a raised ridge line that extends along the left side of the road around a turn, where he is standing on top. As you saw him, you guys would have ducked off the left side of the road. Being that is the side that he would be basically on.
Okay. I was gonna say if we were on the other side, we could just like try to sneak past him on the other side of the forest. But if we're on this side, I'll say, well, can't be too sure of his motives without talking to him. But if he's pointing a gun at the road, I'm not sure I want to get close enough to have words with him. So I think my vote is to just try to avoid him.
He may be able to tell us a little bit more about this bandit camp ahead if he is one of them.
I want to see. Is there a sneak or hide skill?
Stealth.
Stealth. On a.
So all of you who would like to try and approach and get the drop on this fellow, give me stealth rolls.
I will say if y'all want to approach, I don't know how good I am at sneaking, but I can stay back here with my rifle and give you guys some backup if needed.
I'll try and get a little closer, see if I can circle around and get a better sense of him.
I mean, I'm not too stealthy, but I do have a handkerchief in the back of my pocket I can wave out at him.
Well, you be ready to be a distraction then, and I
Okay.
will set off through the trees.
Uh,
Huge mistake.
Mr. Proctor, I guess, follows along.
I'll be stealthing, like hiding if possible.
Nice. So yeah, Chester's gonna stay. He's gonna try to get in a position where he has like a line of sight to the guy, but far enough away where he feels comfortable that the guy, unless Chester like jumps out, the guy wouldn't see him, and just kind of have a gun at ready.
All right. So,
Unless Miss Baker stops him, Proctor's gonna tag along.
all right. Well, are you doing so stealthily? Because it'd be hilarious if you're not.
He is not stealthy.
Not even trying.
Well, he is. No, he'll try to stealth. He's just not.
Okay. Well, yeah. Give me a
I'm
stealth
trying to
roll.
decide whether it'd be too much of a coward to follow along or whether.
Sense of adventure has no idea what kind of situation he's getting himself into.
When he first started following her, she would definitely like turn around and give him a glare. But whether or not that would stop him is up to you.
Okay. You just take up position and try and back up uh, with Galloway.
So is anybody besides Miss Baker trying to get up to the sky?
I think. Oh, okay.
I'm definitely
I'm
not.
gonna let the lady do the man's work.
You offered.
Yeah.
I guess if she's going on her own, then I will help. I'll remove the backpack that I've been carrying.
Oh, my role is not hidden, so you can see the name.
Yeah,
It's
I
one of them.
you have to go into like every character sheet and tell it to roll privately if you wanted to in Roll20. It's a pain in the ass.
All right. So it was just Nora sneaking up on him.
No, I was saying that I will. If she's
you
going
will.
alone, I
Well, we
will. But I
got-
w-
Okay.
Two of us with guns trained on, so it's not like she's like
Yeah, it's
one
not
one
covered.
person totally alone in the wild.
okay then, fair then.
You
So
can
Mr.
you can
Watson,
obviously
Mr.
go, but
Watson is going to come along to try and get the
No,
jump on the sky.
I'll, if we feel she's covered enough, then I won't. But if we felt that she wasn't covered enough, then I would have. But I would have removed
Well, so
that big heavy backpack.
presumably, if she's going to try and approach this guy up on top of the ridge, she'd be kind of out of the way of you guys potentially having a shot on this guy if he ducks down behind the ridge. He's in a raised position.
I just didn't want to fuck it up with his abysmal stealth. Mine.
What would he do?
We got two guns trained on the ridge.
All right. So Nora very stealthily sneaks along the side, watching, and makes her way through the trees as quietly as a mouse, finding her way up to the edge of the cliffside, or the cliffside, the like rise, and starts making her way up to the top. As she gets to the top of the ridge, she sees the man about 30 feet away, looking down the road through his eyeglass, or through his eyeglass, monocular, scope. Through his scope and watching down the road. She currently has not alerted them to her presence.
How far away am I from him at this point?
Still like a good like 30, 40 feet. You're not like literally on top of them. That you got to the edge of the tree cover at the edge of this ridge up along the side of the hill.
Okay, and he's like looking in the direction of where the rest of us were coming from, basically.
Yeah.
Does he look like a bandit person?
You would have had descriptions of the guys who you're after, and he more or less fits one of their descriptions.
Okay. I'm gonna try and get a little bit closer. Like, I have no idea, honestly, what my range is. I should know that. I'm gonna try and get a little bit closer, and then call out to like get his attention once I feel like I've got a good drop on him. But I don't know what that is with a gun. So let me look at the combat stuff.
Oh, pretty good. Just like 80 yards
Okay,
or something.
15 yards apparently is my range. So I will try and get that close. And then call out, "We have 3 guns on you. Stay and drop your rifle."
Oh shit! I just closed roll 20. So you pop out of the brush at him and yell out, and you hear the man yelp, and he spins quickly and fires wildly in your direction. You can choose to dodge or react. Like, do you leap for cover, or are you going to be able to take a shot back at him?
No, I totally would have just been ready to fire at him because dexterous, no, but strong, yes. So, pew pew. Let's do it.
Okay, so he lost all. I had so many freaking tabs open.
It's the one. Fucking roll 20.
Can't you press
Oh.
control?
Nah, it doesn't really work with roll 20 when you have a whole bunch of pop outs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say
You can't press Control Shift T and they all come back up.
No, because they're not tabs. They're like slave windows to a master window.
You can't use that term anymore.
I would say Chester would probably fire once he saw that whoever was there turned and fired at Miss Baker.
Mr. Proctor has no discipline. As soon as people start shooting, he's going off.
Okay, so this is not quite a combat, but we're gonna have like a mini round, and I will say that he goes first.
But I had the drop on him.
No, but you had the drop on him, but he's firing wildly.
No, that's fair. I waited till he got aggressive before I would shoot. That's fine.
You can't double penalty in here.
You're our only medic, aren't you?
No,
Hopefully this won't be like Band of Brothers.
my first aid's pretty good.
Or
My first aid is like 75.
Saving Private Ryan, I mean.
So he fires wildly with his shot, and then he attempts to rise and take off into the underbrush. Everybody else, give me your shots based on your range.
So we considered aiming.
Yes, I would say you guys are considered aiming. You get a bonus die.
I don't know how this works.
Oh, okay. So 15 yards. Yes, that's correct. So you should have for each of your weapons a range which is your like main range where you just need a regular success, and then there's an extended range in which you need a hard success, and an extreme range in which you need like an extreme success. That's the usual sort of breakdown there. But then you get a bonus die if you are trying to aim. Like you've had time to stand there and like line up your shot.
How far did you say we were?
You guys down the road are like 100 yards.
And how do you add a bonus die?
Rolling a penalty die in this, or do you just roll it more than once?
Yeah, there should be a toggle in the sheet somewhere to be able to choose. At least in my NPC sheet there is. I don't know if in the settings somewhere there's a thing for bonus and penalties.
If you go in the setting under role options for role behavior,
Where you see is it under settings? You said.
Yeah, under roll options. So there's roll behavior and then post roll bonus dice. You can roll one or it'll query if you have more than one.
Yeah, because yes, you can technically have double advantage or double disadvantage in this game.
I want to see with this gun. What is the range?
I turned on query. It didn't ask me anything.
Weird.
Weird.
Yeah, because I was going to try and fire more than once as he runs away.
I think that then.
So then I get a penalty die per, like I have one, and then in brackets it says 3. So I can roll with a penalty die to do a second one, or roll with 2 penalty dies to do a third shot. I think is how that works.
I think that's right.
Oh, I figured.
Yeah,
it
new combat systems.
Cool.
But it's a type of weapon that can fire multiple times, like a pistol or like a submachine gun or something like that.
Yeah, that's why it says like 1 bracket 3, because that's how many you can do at once. It's got like ammo 7 or something. Whatever. I fired at him once. I think that's.
So,
That's
I don't know the range. It only tells me the base range of this gun.
Oh, it's all in here.
It's 30 yards, so I'm gonna be, if we're at 100, it's gonna be at least a penalty. But if I've been aiming, I get a bonus, so that cancels out. So it'd just be a regular roll.
No, I believe it's a regular roll at hard difficulty.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The bonus die, I noticed I clicked, there's like a bonus / penalty underline, and I clicked on that and it added a die.
Oh yes, that is the thing you can do. So technically, so the way that advantage or disadvantage works in this, in terms of bonus or penalty dice, is that it only rolls the percentile, not your final die. So if you roll a like, a 50 and then a 6 for 56, and then you have a bonus, then you can roll like a 30, and so it becomes 36. You're like essentially the like 0 to 10 doesn't change. It's the like 10 to 100 that changes.
Oh, interesting. I just reread the gun thing. So if you're firing more than 1 shot per round, all rolls are made with 1 penalty die.
Yes.
The number in the brackets denotes the maximum number of shots.
Okay, yes. Yeah, that's true. Because like I said, basically you're taking a penalty on every shot.
Yeah, whatever.
So. Oh, okay. I see the bonus penalty. So it's hard difficulty, but I get a bonus die because I'm aiming.
Yeah, so
Okay.
normally in the midst of combat, you'd have to give up a round to be able to get your bonus die. But then, like, you did that before this happened.
Right. Okay. So I guess I'll just 1. So that would make it a 25, which I think is still a failure.
Yes, that should be good. I think.
Well, if
So
it's,
well, 1/2.
I didn't do it as hard, so 35 is my base. So 18, or is it round down?
Oh, I don't know which way around, but it should be. Oh, I suppose the sheets here don't show it, do they?
It doesn't. I wish it did. That would be nice.
Oh, one second. So the thing's up now. I gotta go pull it up.
I think I remember saying round down.
Yeah, it might. Well, let me just. So you just did a rifle.
Yeah. 22 bolt action rifle.
What does it say? Okay, so I just did one for you. 17.
Okay, so yeah. In that case, I will spend some luck to hit.
I don't know if you
Okay.
can.
It would make sense if you can. That kind of makes sense if you can't.
I think it does. Yeah, I think you're right. is that you can spend your luck on attack rolls. You just can't spend your luck on sanity rolls.
Okay, then yeah. So let me see how much I need to spend. It was a 25, right? I need to get down to 17. So 8. Okay.
Yeah, so you can't use luck to get out of a fumble or firearm malfunction, but you can use it otherwise to hit.
Okay. So I'm now at 47 luck. And I hit. Probably 3 damage. Woof. Versus that 11 that, or 12 that Nora did. And I was more aiming for like the leg to make it where you can't get away.
I'll take that into consideration. I would say that technically, combat maneuvers, which are to disable somebody, don't apply to like fired weapons, ranged weapons. But we can fudge that. So sorry, Emily, you also hit, and you did 12 damage. Jesus Christ. Okay, so basically, this guy gets up to run away, and Nora just fucking blasts him. She like slams him like right in the chest, and he is about to fall over backwards, practically on the verge of death. When Chester, at a long range, was going to try and disable him by shooting him in the leg, only as his body is crumpling to the ground, his bullet slams into the man's skull, blasting him to the side, and his body falls lifeless to the ground.
Oh no.
Seeing him fall forward from a hit from Chester's angle, Proctor will say, "I think I hit him."
Chester would be like,
size. So much for information. Am I gonna go check his pockets and stuff?
Chester will be like, yeah, good shooting.
Start making the way up there.
And
Yeah.
Chester will hang back a bit. Just kind of be like, that's not what I meant to do.
By reading this on the shotgun, it says attacks 1 or 2. Does that mean I can attack twice in general or twice at the same time?
Sorry, I will say so. Yeah, yes. If you have 1 or 2, it means that you can attack twice in a single round, but then you have disadvantage basically. Like you have a whatever penalty roll for each of your attacks.
I'll keep that in mind for the
I
future.
would say technically he is not quite dead yet. He is lying on the ground, breathing heavily and bleeding profusely. Because technically, according to the rules, as far as if you guys took those kinds of hits, you would be severely wounded and on the verge of death, but not actually dead.
Cool. I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna start interrogating him about the bandits and why they're stupid and jumpy.
Well, what do you say to him?
I'm gonna rush over and grab him by the collar and say, "Why'd your friends get you into this? Could have been easy. Simple payoff. Girl goes home. Why'd you have to make it this hard?"
He splutters and coughs. Like, oh, who are you?
Doesn't matter now, does it? Just tell me. Why are your friends being idiots? Could have made this so easy on yourselves.
Idiot, Sidney. It's all his idea. I didn't want to go along with this. All right.
I'll try and press a handkerchief to the worst of the bleeding.
Are you trying to first aid stabilize him?
Yes, sure.
Okay, give me a first aid roll.
Am I walking up on first aid or Her giving like the Batman treatment.
Just like trying to put this like handkerchief on just like terrible gushing blood. That is good. Art success. Okay. So you put him down for a moment, and you rip off his shirt and you make a tourniquet to try and staunch the bleeding from his leg at the same time that from the one shot, and then you also then tie off something around his chest to close up the wound that is going into one of his lungs.
Don't have to die here, man. Just tell me what's going on.
You can also see, having done first aid on him, that he is already wounded with a shot that has clearly passed through his shoulder recently.
This poor bastard.
He's like, Sydney, that bitch Harris. What was it? I don't know what's wrong with him. He was obsessed with the strong girl. Thought that her father had made it rich on gold out here. It was supposed to be an easy handoff, but we were all so. Oh, I need a rest. I can barely hold on.
All right. Try and stay with us. I'll give him a little water and try and sort of prop him up against a tree. You're in trouble. And tell me, where exactly can I find your friends? If you want as many of them to survive as possible, you'll make this easy.
Okay. Oh, anything. Just get me out of here. I'm gonna die if you don't get me back to town. You just have to head straight north from here. Don't follow the road. Sydney headed back to the cabin. The girl's safe. You can you can save her still. It won't be a problem. It'll just be him and the one other guy out there. But you can't leave me here. I'm gonna die.
I'll sort of stand up and gesture for the rest of the companion peoples to come closer. And anything any of you can do for him, he's told us all he can.
Perhaps he'd like some aspirin.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
He's getting like
I'll roll
kind of
up
looking at him
the phone
disgusted.
now and give him a smoke.
I do have an aspirin. I do have aspirin.
Are any of you good at medicine?
I have a little bit of medicine. I am afraid I would make it worse, though.
I think I put a couple points.
I would ask.
21.
I would want to ask him, um, how far from here is it to this cabin?
Probably at least another day's walk through the forest. Probably almost 2.
All right.
At this point, of course, also it is getting quite late in the day. The sun, as I mentioned, was already setting, and it was the glint of the sunlight coming out from underneath the clouds that caught the sight of this guy's scope.
I'll say, you're Eugene, right?
That's right, sir, Mr. Clayton. My family, we've been in this area for years, and I don't know how I ended up with the likes of Harris, but he's just such a dick. It's hard to say no to him.
Well, believe me, I understand a thing or two about running into the wrong group of people, and I don't think anybody deserves to die for that. So if my compatriots here agree, I think we're gonna try to do what we can for you.
I'll tip some
Well,
of my
I'd be
gin
much
on his wound.
appreciated, but you're gonna have to do something, otherwise I'm not long for this world.
Indeed, your fate does appear to be entirely in our hands. Perhaps there's more you'd wish to share with us.
And with that, he slips from consciousness.
All right. Could since Mr. Proctor, you said you had some medicine. Could we do like a combined medicine roll?
Yeah, yeah, I believe two of you can give me medicine checks to try and stabilize him.
I've
Tip
got
some gin on his wounds.
I've got 21. If there's anyone with higher.
I got 16.
And this is medicine.
Yeah.
Medicine,
Yeah,
not first aid. You need to first aid him every hour to keep him alive successfully. Otherwise, he dies, and you need to medicine him to stabilize him.
Yeah. I got 75 medicine. Just kidding. I've got one.
I was about to say,
too.
dang.
Secretly a doctor.
All right.
Mr. Proctor is very reluctant and appears to be averse to blood, but he tries.
All right, yeah.
Just a regular roll.
Just a regular roll. Well, he still died.
Oh, that wasn't mine.
That was just mine.
Why does it roll like that? That's weird.
Yeah, that's strange. Oh, I wonder if that was me because I clicked something. That's weird. So yeah, you guys can't try again for another hour. Do you try and continue on, leaving this dude here to die, or do you set up camp at the side of the road for the time being and continue to administer first aid and medicine to this guy for the time being, or try and get him back to civilization? Although that's going to be difficult.
He's like in a kind of reasonably protected spot on top of like a rise, right? Like
Yeah.
he was trying to be stealthy. So I guess we could try and set up a camp here that was reasonably stealthy and try not to let him just die immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, you just thought like obviously you saw like a regular dude driving a truck. It's not like you have any reason to expect that this road is otherwise.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd try and keep him from dying.
I'll ask Chester. Do you know how often these convoys make their way up the mountains?
Would that be something that Chester would know? I would think no.
Sorry, wait, what?
Proctor asked if I would know how often the trucks go up and down.
Oh yeah, you would. We wouldn't know. Actually, I don't think I mentioned last game. Like Nora, who woke up in the middle of the night, in particular, might have heard the sound of a truck driving by in the distance, in the middle of the night, the previous night, which I think I missed last game. But like beyond that, no, you wouldn't have any specific idea.
I'll say I'm not too sure how often they do. We can keep somebody posted overnight. We can take shifts in case somebody drives through on the night. We can flag them down. But other than that, I'm not sure what we can do at the moment other than just trying to keep him alive.
Unfortunately, our goal remains the same, and he is part of the reason we are here. It may be cold, but we best press on and find the girl.
Sorry. I also it would have been another hour to have done medicine. I just double check that. It takes like a full hour to administer trying to like fully stabilize somebody.
Would our rolls have been combined? Two of us trying? Or is it one at a time?
Oh, I don't actually. I don't know. This doesn't actually specifically say whether or not two people can medicine at the same time. It does definitely say for first aid that two people can try first aid, but it does not say anything specifically about medicine. basically, so technically, I got kind of right. Because he has been properly first aided, he is now stable, but he has to do a con save every hour, otherwise he goes back to dying. So technically, he is stable and just passed out right now. But like with the TBD as to like he'll have to make con saves throughout the night if you stop trying to medicine him. But I don't know. Like, would you continually try to re-medicine him every hour? Like,
Jester would try until he feels like either there's nothing more he can do or feels like he's got him to a state where he should be fine.
yeah, I'll say if you guys are camping here with him, you can probably try 2 more times before it gets too late.
Okay.
To medicine him.
Both of us
Like
together, or just
tomorrow.
one of us?
Like one of you each time, basically.
Proctor's just gonna let Chester try. His experience
All right.
meddling around in his guts was enough for him.
All right. Hey, look at there.
Oh wow. Okay, cool. So I fudged the rules on this a little bit, going back and looking at this whole thing about how I didn't expect him to be dying. I just fucking murdered this dude. Not quite. You didn't do all of his hit. A little bit more damage, and you would have just killed him in one hit. But that didn't happen.
It was not murder. He attacked us.
Well, yes, this is true. He did fire first, wildly, when he surprised him. But you don't know what would have happened. Anyway, okay, so he gets. Anytime now, roll 20. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so this dude now is breathing shallowly and seems to be stabilized at 2 hit points. And he is fallen into a fitful rest in the night. You guys can choose to obviously make a camp properly and set up while this is happening, because it took a couple hours of giving this guy medicine to get him properly stabilized. So technically the thing that I missed was that in failing the first one, he actually would have gone back to dying, requiring a follow-up first aid to restabilize him, and then another medicine check.
Oh, so a failed medicine check undoes first aid?
Yes, basically it says dying characters dying, hit points reduced to 0. They are also sustained a major wound. Record current hit points at 0, and check the dying box. Character immediately falls unconscious, which I kind of fudged the rules on so you guys could talk to him. That's not true. No. So you first aided him, but I had him come back to consciousness. First aid still can use to stabilize a dying character. Medicine cannot be used to stabilize a dying character. The use of first aid to stabilize a dying character grants 1 temporary hit point and must be followed up with a successful medicine skill roll. A dying character that has been stabilized with first aid should make a con roll at the end of each hour. A failure indicates the patient's condition has deteriorated. They lose the temporary hit points and revert to dying. And then require first aid again. The medicine skill should be used to treat a dying character after he or she has been stabilized with first aid. After a successful medicine roll, uncheck the dying box in the investigator sheet and increase the hit points by 1d3. A recovery roll, see major wound recovery, should be made at the end of each further week for care or convalescence. Okay, no, never mind. I guess I misread that the first time. No, I think what I'm thinking of is that if you fumble your medicine roll, then
That makes sense.
Yeah, like if you straight up like 5% or like 1% or whatever really screw up, then it's like, oops.
Yeah.
After like 15.
Accidentally cut open your trachea and you didn't need it.
Fair. After like 15 minutes of standing around, Mr. Proctor will just say to nobody in particular, shouldn't we like tie him up or something?
I don't think he's likely to escape or attempt to hurt us right now, but if you'd like to bind a dying man, feel free.
Yeah, in his condition, I don't think he's much of a danger to us, or I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. But we could.
That artist in the forest was unarmed, yet they found the need to stab him to death.
But with these wounds, I don't think he's really gonna be up to stabbing. But we can we can have somebody watch him overnight. We can take shifts. I don't mind taking first watch over him.
It may be a good idea to set some watches. We are pretty close to their camp at this point.
Did anybody search him for any more weapons?
Yeah, so I was going to, and then I realized he wasn't dead, so I did not actually like poke through his pockets.
I assume like probably in Chester's fumbling around with trying to get him, like he would have.
Yeah, I will say to first aid him and then medicine him, you would have probably had to disrobe him to some reasonable amount,
Yeah.
considering he is riddled with bullet holes.
All right, then once he's like not actively dying,
Yeah.
definitely going through his stuff.
So he has a .3006 bolt-action rifle, and not a heck of a lot of other stuff. You know, basically just your some random bits and bobs for surviving out here in the forest. Nothing really of consequence, but you guys do have another bolt-action rifle should you need it, and he only actually had 3 more bullets on it, and 1 in the chamber. So, anything else before you guys set up for the night and decide on watches if you're doing that?
Just more like keep looking around the location to see if I recognize any of the location. Strangely enough, that's all. That's what I've been distracted about.
Sure. I would say taking a look around that you'd probably feel so like basically a vaguely unsettled feeling in terms of where you are and your recollections from that dream. It doesn't exactly match at this point.
But there's a strange familiarization with the area.
Yeah, like it feels more familiar than it does less. But you're
Okay.
not quite at the point of seeing like yellow leaves like everywhere. But you would notice that the forest is definitely quieter as you've gotten closer in, and that this is kind of in line with your experiences in terms of that premonition in that dream.
Right, and is it dark yet?
Yeah, so now it is dark. That light, like the last of the sunlight is just fading, and you guys. Oh, there you go. And you guys would be definitely in a position where you should be lighting some lanterns and getting a fire going if you plan to do so.
Aurora lights her cigarette and then her lantern, and then starts helping with like actually getting a fire going.
Yeah, Chester would once he's seen to Eugene would go and help set up camp and then go back to watching over Eugene.
For no particular
Alrighty,
reason,
well,
I'm going to be getting like branches and leaning up against the tent to make it look bush-like.
doing that little
Camouflage.
covering it up and making it camouflage.
Yeah.
All right. If there's anything else you guys want to discuss, I guess let's say we'll take a break right now. Think about anything else you want to do before you fall asleep, and who's going to be taking which watches, and we'll take a 5-minute break, and then we'll get back to it for your second night. All right. So you guys settle down for the night. Is there anything final things you want to discuss before you hit the sack, and then who is taking watch?
While Chester is distracted, I'm going to sort of casually ask around the other men who seem like they might care less if anyone has some fortifying beverages with them on the journey.
Fortifying what beverages? I will offer you some of my what was it called again? What did I call it earlier? My giggle water.
Nora will take a swig and nod gratefully, offer you a cigarette in exchange.
Yeah, I take the cigarette. I detest smoking, but it's the times that smoking's probably very common practice for everyone to do. I would say, like, you spoke to this guy, right? You don't think he was giving you the runaround?
I don't think he was lying. He was too scared of his own death.
All right, can't trust anyone really.
Not out here. I don't know about you, but these woods give me the creeps.
You ain't no dumb door though. That's what it doesn't seem like to me.
Appreciate that, I suppose. Should we keep an eye on him tonight? Make sure at least he's not playing us for fools?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to try and take a few hours watching him. Not sure I want to fall asleep again in these woods.
You had a dream too, then.
Yeah, how did you? What do you mean too? Who else had a dream?
Well, that boy mentioned it, but
Yeah,
I had a rather unusual encounter myself.
you did. Hmm. I
Strange
did.
people in the forest, yellow leaves. It was
Yep.
altogether unsettling.
Did you said yellow leaves?
The whole forest had gone yellow.
There was yellow leaves in my dream too. This is connected, I'm sure of it.
Certainly is an eerie coincidence, given the situation.
Hmm. Yes, I wonder if it's not something I promote often, but I am very much into the occult, and this is something that is giving me the heebie-jeebies as one thing, and it just seems so connected. The boy with the water, me with my past, and then we are now sharing similar dreams of the forest and yellow leaves. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I was stabbed in the chest in my dream. Well, I think I was stabbed. I woke up with screaming.
I wasn't attacked, but it felt a near thing. Your past, you say? How is this tied to your past?
Oh, well, you heard about the unsinkable sinking. I assume the Titanic. World news.
Oh, of course.
Well, I was just a boy, and I was one of the boys on that boat.
Oh, I'm sorry. That must have been quite the experience.
It was horrible. I lost my father. I feel like I should have been there with him when they went down, but everyone, the media, the false media, they were all pushing out that it was an iceberg that we'd hit, and I'm telling you, it was something else. I'm sure of it. It wasn't the iceberg, and I'm gonna find out what it is, and that's what's brought me here. This is why I'm here, and now we're having these strange dreams and boys dreaming about water. I'm gonna prove that right one day.
Well, good luck, I suppose. It sounds all a little strange, but I know what it's like to lose your parents young. It can't have been easy.
It wasn't. And I hold my locket that I have. I said I would never forget them, but I would never be able to go back home. I would never be able to go on water again.
Best hope this trip keeps us dry then, eh?
Absolutely, because God knows what I'll do if we have to swim. Anyway, I'm sure you're getting tired. I guess I can stay up and watch this guy first, unless we're doing double watches.
Best I'll make sure we get some sleep. We've got some traveling yet to do, but wake me when you get tired.
Chester
Will
had
do.
offered to take the first watch, but
Oh, are we doing dual watches or are we doing single watches?
um,
I don't think we did watch his first night.
We didn't.
I think maybe singles would be best, just so we can shorten the amount of time that somebody has to be awake. We can sleep a
Yeah.
little more.
I can go after Chester. Unless.
I'll go after you.
Okay.
Mr. Proctor doesn't offer.
Nora sort of gives everyone a nod. Wake me if you grow tired.
Will do.
All right. So you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Mr. Proctor will use. Does Mr. Galloway have a kettle? Like a tea kettle or something to contain water?
I believe I have like a water skin. That's about it.
Nothing to like heat up water though.
I'm sure we
I
have
imagine
like
you
a
have-
kettle to put on the fire pit type thing.
Yeah, he probably has like a little kit for cooking food and stuff.
You'd most likely have a metal cup. So you
That'd
put
work.
water in that, and then you.
If there's like a metal cup, Benjamin will pour some Epsom salts and mix some of that up, warm up the water, and kind of, I guess, put it on cloth and just kind of leave it on for a bit before bed, since it's supposed to have like soothing qualities.
Before she goes to sleep after going to her tent, Nora is going to pen a letter to her cousin to try and get sort of comfortable and sleep better and stuff.
All right. Well, first watch. Give me extreme spot hidden rolls.
This is gonna go well for me when I get to my watch.
Chester probably, after a little bit of just watching the guy sleep and watching the forest, just pulled out his old Boy Scout manual and just started flipping through the pages.
Yeah, you read it, read through your Boy Scout manual, and the first part of the night passes quite uneventfully.
And after a couple hours, I'll go wake up Mr. Brady.
Right. So late in the night, as you're getting close to 11 p.m., probably, you go over and shake Mr. Brady awake and alert him that it is his turn to take watch.
Almost identical roles.
Your watch also is passing fairly. Who is third watch?
Me.
So on your way towards third watch, sorry, you guys were only doing three, right? I didn't miss something there. Was there a fourth person on watch, or were there only three watches for the night?
Emily said.
Don't know.
sorry,
I
go
mean,
on.
I said someone should wake me if they got tired, but I wasn't sure how many people we really needed.
Okay. So I would say as you're getting late into the evening while Mr. Brady is on watch, that a dream comes to you, Mr. Watts, and just as it's coming up about your time for a watch. Your sleep is far from restful. You toss and turn from side to side, bombarded throughout the hours of darkness by images that you barely recall when you awake. Maybe it's the previous day's trek through the forest that's influencing this. All you remember are the dark trees surrounding you, the sickly yellowing leaves falling to the ground. You feel something foreboding. Something is out there, watching, waiting. You wake feeling exhausted. When Mr. Brady shakes you, you barely feel like you slept at all. And for the rest of the day, you have a penalty die on your any Constitution rolls.
Okay. I don't know how to mark that off, but okay.
We just gotta remember.
Okay. I remember. Con penalty. In my chicken scratch.
So it is your turn to take watch. If you guys have anything to say to each other, then give me extreme spot hidden roll.
Okay. Got nothing to say. far off. While I'm on watch, though, I will be holding my locket, looking at the pictures and looking at the stars and trying to recognize any kind of star formats that keep me at ease from anything I recognize and stuff like that.
Oh, I think you obviously, yeah, try and use that to center yourself for the coming day, steel yourself for whatever might be coming ahead, and the deepest part of the night passes uneventfully, other than your beating heart that you can feel through the darkness as the quiet of the forest surrounds you, and you hear nothing, not any birds or animals in the night as you're deep within this forest.
All right, and when I'll kind of close my eyes and keep listening to the forest, but I'll be not unconsciously, but I'll be subconsciously writing in my book like symbols, like not even looking, just letting my free hand draw whatever it wants to draw.
As it gets to about 3 a.m., you hear Miss Baker tossing in her sleep. Miss Baker, you were visited by a dream in the night. This one that your companions have already experienced. You stand on the shore of a stagnant lake. Black, stinking water lies before you, while the pale moon above reflects off its oily surface. An unhealthy yellow glow shines through the wooded tree lines surrounding the lake. You can feel their presence behind you, blocking your retreat. You should have, so you've stood there for hours, and now you know the time is finally at hand. Strange light pulses from beneath the water. Tendrils rise slowly from the surface, writhing and twisting in the cold night air. At their ends, lids open and blink, revealing inhuman eyes that look into your soul. An array of metallic spikes begins to thrust upwards as something huge rises to greet the night. Like polished metal, it glistens in the moonlight. The spines writhe and flex. You feel a sickening stab as something plunges into your chest. You awake screaming. Make a sanity roll.
You're muted.
Sorry, give me 1d10. Lucky.
That's not too bad.
You awake screaming. Mr. Watts, in particular, you're the first to obviously hear her, being still somewhat awake on your time spent this evening.
I shoot my pistol. No, I was kidding.
Good. Nora,
I'll run over and like say, "Hey, it's okay, it's okay."
The rest of you at this point are not awakened by this, as your own dreams are setting in. Before we get into that, Nora and Mr. Watts, is there anything you're specifically doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, "Hey, it's okay, you're here."
Right. Just another dream. Sorry to disturb you.
It's okay. Are you okay? Was it a similar dream to what we had before?
There was a lake, and I'd rather not discuss it in the darkness. Let's talk in the morning with everyone. There may be more to discuss than we thought.
Yes, I think so, because I too had another dream tonight. And speaking of that, I feel like I haven't slept a wink. So I think it's probably your turn for watch now. It is about right time for me to change watch, right?
Yeah, it's pretty late in the night. You're probably like 3-4 a.m., so it's probably about the right time to let her take the final watch.
I'll offer a swig of my gin and...
I don't think I'd sleep much more at this point anyways. By all means, get some rest. I'll take a healthy swig and roll up a couple cigarettes and look around with the gun ready.
All right, Mr. I suppose actually before we get to that, so Mr. Proctor, give me your. Sorry, you don't know, no check. It just happens, right? You dream as well this time. An unsettling, it's an unsettling premonition. You see dark waters reaching out in front of you. An unseen presence is watching you from below the surface. It becomes, it becomes to you. It becomes to you. That's what I think. To either side, you see your companions. They seem happy as they walk towards the water. Together, you all step into the water and feel something reaching out to embrace you. You wake up dripping with sweat. Give me a sanity roll.
Does the Epsom salts help?
No.
I had to try. 1d3 or 10.
No, sorry, sanity check first. Just sand roll.
No.
And that is 1d4. Minus 2 sanity. Let's say you're going to wake in the morning. So during this final period, before we get to the last two dreams, you can give me one more extreme spot hidden roll, Nora, this time since you're taking last watch. Definitely, completely oblivious to the 15. Really, that's your spot hidden.
You said extreme.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I would say that's actually so your spot hidden is really good, actually.
Yes.
Sorry. Yes. So clearly, time passes and you do not find anything.
She's just chain smoking and paying no attention to anything.
So next, Mr. Galloway, this evening brings a dream to you as well. The forest extends all around you. The path cuts and snakes its way between the trees, carpeted by freshly fallen yellow leaves that have begun to dry and wither as if a sickness infests them. You're walking slowly down the path in silence. Nothing moves but you. There is no wind. There is no sound. Everything is dead. You feel something calling you from further down the path, just out of sight. There's a clearing up ahead. Yellow light reflects off something. Could it be water? There's a snap of twig behind you, and as you turn to take a look, a sharp pain sinks into your chest as something plunges into you. You wake with a gasp and a splutter. But you do not make any rolls. This one was not super disturbing, but disturbing enough. Finally, Mr. Brady. Yellow leaves fall slowly from the thick roof of the branches above. Blades of sunlight stab through the darkness. Ahead of you stands a dilapidated log cabin. The door swings slowly open and figures emerge. They advance slowly with purpose. You want to turn and run, but you can't take your eyes from them. Your muscles strain as the brain cries out for your limbs to work. You are powerless. The figures wear strange clothes. You hear the first one, a man's voice as he comes closer. Come with us. Join us in his service. Embrace your new destiny and bask in his eternal glory. Its face is lifeless, pale and unblinking. A dark green smear of corruption spreads down from the empty eye socket. It grins as its skin cracks. You wake in terror, and you make me a sanity roll. And D6.
A D6.
D6. You lose 2 sanity.
You almost under 50.
All right, so you all are now awake in the morning. All of you visited by mysterious dreams in the night. Unfortunately, it was not the best of rests, and you all feel a little shaken. But fittingly, despite the randomness. Mr. Galloway, the least so, being at home in the forest despite these strange happenings. How do you proceed?
Question.
I would say that your nearly dead friend did not stir in the night. He is basically not doing so great, but he is barely holding on, and you can wake him in the morning. But otherwise, he is like fitfully sleeping on the side there.
I was just gonna ask if he had a nightmare.
Not. I mean, he may have been visited by awful dreams in the night, but his terrible state of ill health has not resulted in him being able to really wake and thrash about much at all.
Good to know. All we
Waking
have to
him-
do is almost die.
So, would me and Mr. Brady like waking up at the same time from our dreams?
Yes, definitely. And probably Mr. Proctor too serves a little bit earlier in the night, but not by much as it's coming to dawn.
I'm just kind of
So I guess me waking up and then also seeing that Chester is also waking up, I guess I would just look towards him and just say yellow leaves.
nod and kind of feel my chest where I felt like I got stabbed, and I've never seen anything like, never had a dream like that before. It's concerning. Um, I think it's morning. Let's see how everyone else is doing.
As soon as Nora hears people are like about and moving, she's just gonna call out loudly to the whole camp, like, "All right, everybody up! We have things to talk about. This place is weird, and I want to be done with it."
Sorry, I have to retcon something that I completely missed. My fault. There was a minor little incident in the middle of the night. Round about midnight after the first handoff of the watch, there was a loud explosion in the distance. Should you have poked your head out at that time, whoever was awake would have seen a dim blue light cast upon the cloud cover above, away to the north and the east.
I think that would have been Mr. Brady during his watch.
Okay, yeah.
So as you're getting set for the day and ready to strike camp, you hear a rustling coming from the bushes just off to the side.
Ready
Mm-hmm.
weaponry.
Yep.
A person suddenly comes out from the underbrush, followed by two more. They look a little bit harried, and you recognize them from the original formation of the posses in town. They look a little bit unsure, and they initially raise their weapons at you as they come into the clearing.
If I recognize him, I'll kind of lower my gun and put my hand up, like, "Whoa, whoa! It's Ranger Galloway here. Um, what's got you guys all in a tizzy?"
Oh, Galloway. Oh, am I glad to see you? Oh, our group here, we've been a few nights in now, and honestly, we had some bad food. None of us are feeling well, and we're making our way back to town. I hope you have better luck than us, but we can't continue.
Uh, um, I understand. We've been following Harris and his boys' trail. Actually, we ran into one of them and kind of motions over to Eugene. Some shots were exchanged between us, he's all right now, but he is not in great shape. If you guys, if you're heading back to town, um, do you think you could carry him with you? Um, he seemed like he wanted out and didn't want anything else to do with Harris, so he shouldn't give you any trouble. And just get him to the sheriff. Um, maybe he can tell the sheriff more than what he told us and see that he gets some proper care.
We'd be happy to do that. We got to get out of here, and I was feeling pretty bad about abandoning this hunt, but none of us are feeling well. Must have been something wrong with the supplies, but we can certainly make sure that he gets back safely to the camp. We'll just follow this road on it. You know, this road this will get us out of here to the town, right? I would say that you probably would assume that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This road should lead relatively close to the town.
At least we'll get them to Somerset if it doesn't get them to Bennington.
Bad supplies, you say, though. Are you sure you'll make it back all right? What was wrong with them?
All of us just not feeling good. And another guy from the back just said like, yeah, we just something wrong with the food and like maybe some tainted meat. Just definitely feeling sick and just we got to get out of here.
You're lucky it's the food that's doing it to you, not your dreams.
One of the guys in the back goes,
Are you all sleeping all right then?
no problem. We just you go on and you hunt down that. I'm glad to hear you're on this trail. Yes, we all other than our stomach, we're fine.
Mr. Proctor looks down his.
Like he's covering something up?
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Does he seem like he is lying and trying to be all tough about it?
Give me a psychology check.
Success.
Oh,
Just
hold on, that is
actually.
contested. Whoa, where are they?
75. Damn.
There's a few things I invested in very heavily.
I don't think I actually have a thing for those. I'll just use one of these character sheets. Sorry, guys, one sec. Not prepared to make a contested roll.
Seriously, Dan,
sure,
your
why not?
backgrounds really make me want to get like the nitro thing and have fun backgrounds going on.
He does not seem to be particularly truthful with you. He's definitely trying to just like put this thing to bed and not speak to you anymore about it. Definitely uncomfortable about any discussion of dreams.
All right, realizing that a dude is not going to break down on his macho-ness to a lady, I'm just going to let it go, but I will make note of that.
Mr. Proctor looks down his nose at him and says, if it's simply an indigestion, I have indigestion medicine if you must take some.
Oh, I'd be happy to take you up on that. That would fix me right up, along with getting out of here.
He distributes some of his personal supplies.
Not being familiar with swallowable indigestion tablets, for a couple of them, they chew it up and are like.
You just swallow it whole.
And they look at you a bit like, oh, okay, well, new medicine. Wow, that's very fancy. Hopefully it will help, and I suppose we'll get to making like. Can he walk? Do you think we can? Do you think we need to make some kind of sling for him?
I can see how he's doing, and I'll go over and gently try to shake him awake.
Yeah, so you're able to wake him up. He asks for water in a hoarse voice.
I'll give him some out of my water skin.
He's like, "You gonna get me out of here?"
Yes, these fine gentlemen right here were part of another search group, and they're headed back to town. And they're gonna make sure that you get the proper care that you need. But do you think you can walk at least?
Honestly, I don't think so. My leg's real messed up. Well, along with my chest and my shoulder. I'm not gonna be walking out of here. Maybe you can drag me or something.
We'll try to figure something out. But yeah, we're gonna make sure that you make it back to town and I get all this taken care of for you. And then I'll turn back to the other group and say, you mentioned something about fashion and something for him. What did they say? I forgot.
Oh, not a sling,
Stretcher.
litter. Yeah, stretcher.
Let's see. Not sure I have too much in the way we could fashion something like that. Huh. I do have a folding camp bed. It's basically from what I looked up, it's like a cot that folds up. So like I could give that to them so they could fold it out and just carry him on that.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
What's
I
he
think we
wearing?
can sort of
Sorry.
make that into a makeshift litter. Sorry.
What's he wearing?
Who?
The guy, Eugene, or
Oh, like obviously, like fairly sort of nondescript, jeans and a flannel shirt with a cap. All of which are in pretty bad shape now because of the efforts to save his life.
does he have a jacket?
Yep.
All right. I'll take the jacket off and I'll put two sticks, longer sticks, through the actual arms of the jacket itself, and then you can sit on there and show them that the body can actually just sit on that, and then they can just drag him along on that.
Oh, great.
That's a military technique that we had to do.
Yeah. I was wondering if one of you could come up with that. Yeah, 100%. Like making a makeshift like litter or like stick based dragging thing, like not super complicated. Sure. So they definitely take your advice in that regard and are obviously working to get themselves set up to head on down the road.
Well, I guess I'll keep my folding bed then.
Yeah, it was only so you could keep your folding bed and didn't have to lose it.
We've just been sleeping on the ground.
Have you been sleeping on the ground or have you been using it?
No, he would have been using it up until this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Save your bed. No, this guy doesn't deserve anything fancy. And then I would take his jacket and then fashion that.
Well, if it works, then I would prefer sleeping on the bed rather than the ground. But all right.
All right, what are you guys doing now?
Packing up.
Yeah.
Ready to move.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Emily, didn't you want to talk about the dreams?
Oh yes. We had in theory just started doing that when they showed up. Because yeah, I was calling out to people as they woke up that we needed to talk.
So one more time, explain that incident that happened during my watch. There was an explosion and there was a blue
yes.
light.
So there was a sound of like a boom in the distance, some kind of like potential explosion or something.
Okay.
And after the explosion for several minutes, there was a blue light cast upon the clouds off to the northeast.
Okay. So, not just our dreams that we had. Okay. Yep. So, besides our dreams that we had last, this last night that both me and Chester woke up to, during my watch last night, there'd been this explosion or what seemed like an explosion off in the distance, and there was this blue like light that was cast over an area away from us, and it seems to be a repetition or a pattern of some sort where we're all having these dreams, and there's things that are correlative to like everyone else's dreams, like the yellow leaves. And
What would cause a blue light?
At this point, if we all shared exactly what we had seen.
Yes, and please speak into the recorder as you do so. I mean, what's that is wire recorder.
And if you all die, then that recorder is still going to be the start of another campaign.
Totally.
oh my gosh, that'd be cool.
Blair Witch Project.
Nora will start with the first dream and just relay the dreams she had in order. So, for reference, that was a cabin in the darkness and then a thing in the lake.
I will relay. I'll replay. Can you your device replay, Benjamin?
That's easy enough, and he does so.
Let him replay my encounter of the dream that I had on the first night. Which one did I have? I can't remember. It was the path through the forest.
We should, of course, wait until everyone has recorded their dreams, just in case we might accidentally recall someone else's dream.
So what are you saying? We should all record in private and then come and play them all together?
That's not an idea. We should separate our accounts of things as much as possible so we're not influenced.
Let's do that then.
So you all make note of your dreams, certainly taking note of the similarities between each of them. The themes around water and darkness, the themes around night and dead foliage, dead leaves from trees, and the feeling of being pierced has also come up. Violence and strange figures in the night.
I'm telling you, this is all connected with the occult.
We've certainly shared enough of these same experiences to make me curious. How often do you see your dream mirrored almost exactly in another?
Yeah, I've been around these woods 2.5 years, and I've never experienced anything like this. I'm I'm not one to jump to conclusions, but I don't really have anything to explain what's going on.
This is certainly odd. I can see how spending a lot of time in these woods might make someone jumpy. Perhaps these bandits are not as inexplicable as we thought.
Mr. Brady, you said something about an explosion and then it cast a blue light into the sky. What on earth would create a blue light?
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to think about. I can't honestly.
Do I recall anything in my occult books as well about blue lights? Sorry for cutting you off there, Mr. Brady.
No, you're good.
Yeah, would I know anything about like? I mean, obviously, out of character, I know different things burn different colors, but I have no idea how that would correlate to like 1920s education stuff.
It was a meth lab, wasn't it?
Totally.
It's time to cook.
Oh no, I changed the thing. Oh, there it goes. Um, give me an occult roll.
Not like education.
Oh my goodness.
May
Oh,
I
wow.
make it a cult roll as well?
Sure.
I can get my education closer to her.
Jeez, those are some high rolls. In terms of geology and stuff, like, yeah, I guess in terms of science type stuff, like you need to have a specialty in a particular type of science that you are trying to like use to explain this.
Okay, so yeah, no, she's just like generally well educated, so probably wouldn't really have any idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's specific like science specializations like that you'd put under science skills under like
Yeah.
custom or something.
Yeah, exactly.
For,
Like
like, chemistry.
biology or astronomy or something like that. Like,
I have astronomy, yeah. Occult roll wouldn't be con roll, would it? Because I should have had a thing.
no. A con roll is a con roll, and that's it. Like literally, it would just be in that one
And is that a
situation.
soda stream bottle you're drinking from?
It is a soda stream bottle I'm drinking out of. So
Got one.
basically, like as soon as COVID hit, it was just like, ain't nobody putting soda stream in glasses like this. Like, who has time for that?
No, I got one today from a Valentine's gift from the wife.
Oh man, we are soda stream converts. Like we probably get through like 2 to 3 bottles of soda stream like every day. It's like it's
Oh,
kind
wow.
of getting bad.
That's how they get you. It's a beautiful thing.
Just spritzy water all the time. You're drinking non-spritzy water like some kind of plebe. Plebe
Some kind of
flag.
Thomas Watts.
They've got that energy drink too, which is like almost a perfect copy of Monster. It's amazing.
So I have not. It might be illegal in Canada. So like Canada has some weird specific laws around energy drinks. It's gotten more lax in the last 10 years, but like legit, like Mountain Dew doesn't have caffeine here because it was illegal for Mountain Dew to have caffeine here.
Because it has to be brown if it has caffeine.
Wow.
Yeah, they did eventually change. So they changed the law so that like energy drinks could have a different specific type of designation.
Yeah, but if it's pop and it has caffeine, it has to be brown. I don't know. Canada's weird.
They could just make brown Mountain Dew, I guess.
Yeah,
Could you imagine brown Mountain Dew?
I know.
caffeine.
Anyway, sorry, it's getting. We should get to a good point for this. It's getting on for. Although obviously it's like it's a day off for us tomorrow, so it's not that big a deal. We'll a little bit late. So before we get to that point, okay, are you guys continuing off then, following the trail to where you've been told to go?
Well,
Kind of disgusting the fire still.
We
Yeah.
compared our dreams and saw that everyone had similar dreams. But otherwise, we don't really have much to go off of, I guess.
Yeah.
Now that we've compared dreams, do the occultish people get anything relevant out of the fact that
Yeah, that I was just about to ask
It's
that.
obviously witches. Obviously.
I was about to ask about dream synchronarity.
Synchronicity?
Synchronicity. Thank you. I was going to ask about dream synchronicity in the occultist Bibles that I read.
Picking something kind of out of the hat, I would say that dream synchronicity has been a not an unusual theme across a bunch of the occult readings that you've done. They've been obviously connected to a bunch of other major world events in particular, rather than specific locations or rather in general. And that you would be quick to draw some kind of supernatural sign from this, but that you do not, because of your not very good roll, recall connecting this to a particular type of cult ritual or particular actual cult practice.
Right. is that particular to the explosion? Because
We rolled for the blue explosion.
Oh, okay. I suppose you specifically rolled for the explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You can give me another occult roll for dream synchronicity then.
come on, don't fail.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
You're also rolling on hard.
No, that was a hard success.
No,
hard
it's
success.
not.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
You're right,
regular.
you're right.
Yeah.
All right. So you do recall that in particular that dream synchronicity has apparently featured prominently in some of the writings of a Eastern poet from the Orient, though you don't know exactly where, likely Nepal or Tibet. That the writings of this one poet have particularly spoken about the connection of water-based dreams. Otherwise, you do know also that the Chesuncook Witch Coven has also particularly delved into breaking down collective dreaming.
Was the witch coven? Was the witch called Blair by chance?
Nothing so mundane as that.
Chesson Cook Witch Coven. All right. I will relay that kind of information on because I know something else is happening in real life, but to Thomas Watt's character, he's fully convinced it's the occult. Something going on.
Proctor's 100% sold. I believe I read something about in the Salem witch trials that the accused were accused for projecting themselves into people's dreams.
Yeah, dream synchronicity is it's something a poet read. I can't quite recall where this poet was from. It's definitely from the Orient, but this is a similar thing. And I know that the Chesuncook Witch Coven as well is very much into this kind of thing.
So the Chesuncook Witch Coven is specifically actually from New England too. They are a group that you would have read of that, as far as you know, are still active underground and have been for at least the last century.
I know that the Chesuncook Witch Coven is from this area, like maybe not this forest, but in New England specifically, which is kind of one of the reasons why I came up this way to explore. And I know they're still active, but nobody knows where they are, and perhaps we are encroaching on their territory, which is why we're starting to get these things. I'm sure of it.
I would never have believed any of this had I not experienced some of it myself, but you're the expert.
As
What do you think
I
we
am.
should do? Should we seek out these witches? Should we continue on our journey? Should we leave?
Well, as far as we keep our distance, I don't know if this is right, Mike. You can correct me, but as far as we keep our distance from any witch covens, they prefer to keep themselves to themselves, and I don't think any harm should come upon us. It's probably more to do with these are more like warnings to scare us off, kind of thing. So I think if we come across them, we just steer clear and we'll be fine. But the little girl's life is in danger, and I've seen enough of that in my past that we have to try and save this life.
Mr. Harris has been described as unhinged. I'm sure nothing good will happen if we abandon now.
I for sure agree we should push forward, but is there nothing we can do about these dreams? Is there no way
Yes.
of appeasing these witches?
I will make some protection occult symbols out of the sticks and hand them to everybody to keep on them, whether or not they care or not. I'm going to do that, and so these symbols will hopefully provide an aura of protection around us. Keep them on you.
I didn't have any nightmares on the first night. Perhaps your first symbol was the successful one.
It's a copy of that.
If you think it'll help, I'll strap it to my backpack.
Do you have, just in case we want to use this later, do you have an idea of at least which particular occult tradition you are based this on, even like loosely geographically? Like, is this like, ancient Viking ritual versus like, Welsh magic or like something from like the deepest, darkest heart of Africa?
Do you mind if I get back to you on that? I mean, like, I do have Samaritan. Is it Samaritan is the language?
Yeah, Sumerian or something?
Sumerian. I think that's African, isn't it?
Like North
That'd be
African,
northern, yeah.
or
Yeah.
like Middle East.
But then I have just watched Vikings recently on TV, so kind of leaning towards that. But do you mind if I?
Sure, why not? I think it's one of these things we can kind of work on because I do have some ideas of like I'd like to try and take some of these backstory things that you guys have had. Once we jump into like kind of like getting a little bit off of like the standard sort of completely preset scenarios, then like I'm gonna try and come back to a few of these things as like writing prompts, basically.
All right.
Yeah,
I feel... Go on.
Mr. Proctor's expertise is exclusively based around the Salem witch trials.
I do specifically have some tie-ins around that, 100%. That's already.
Yeah,
that's good old-fashioned like Cthulhu, like bread and butter.
I wonder if my family tree has any Viking heritage. So maybe that's always stayed within my family, being from Britain and being invaded by the Vikings quite regularly. So there could be a tie there, or it could be that I'm just completely convinced something happened in the Titanic that it just threw me on this path, and then I discovered something else. So I'm not entirely
certainly all possible, but I guess
yeah, it's like the Viking or Celtic would be the obvious like easy connections, basically. Both of which has rich histories of magic, but kind of depends on which direction you want to go.
I'll get back to you next week if that's okay.
Sure.
Or during the week.
So are you guys good for like a little bit longer? As I said, like it's a vacation for us tomorrow.
Yeah.
It depends how long. For the wife was expecting me to finish at 11.
I mean, just like 10-15 minutes.
That's fine.
To like something else. And assuming you guys are done, if you guys want to chat for another 15 minutes, by all means, go for it.
Well, it is Valentine's Day. Live on stream.
No, okay, I don't know. So you guys were specifically like if you guys are done in terms of like your talking about the dreams and stuff, I do have a thing that happens next that is a good place for us to stop.
I just wanted to ask real quick about the explosion. Did that happen in the direction we are heading? Like the
No.
Okay. So it's
You're heading north, slightly like westy almost, and it definitely was specifically northeast towards the survey location that you already know about.
Okay.
Yeah, because he told us to head directly north.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my question.
All right, so you guys are heading off into the forest.
Yeah, I'll do my best to figure out the most north direction we can.
Yeah, and so I would say in terms of like he gave you some more specific actual directions in terms of landmarks that you'd be familiar with, which I did not take the time to come up with, being arbitrary. But like yes, you have some specific landmarks you're looking for to find your way north, where it's on the edge of one of the rivers up a little ways farther from you. As you guys head off into the forest, you are moving along, and basically, like you aren't really particularly interrupted by anything as you continue on your way north. Things are quite quiet in the forest. There's a certain stillness. And you notice that the thick canopy is really quite impressive here as you get deeper into the forest, really blotting out much of the light coming down to the forest floor. But you start seeing a little hint of light coming back through here and there. The trees, they start to be like twisted and somewhat deformed, like not so much so that they're like falling over, but clearly no longer quite as straight and true as they were when you were further to the south, farther to the south, right farther. And as you keep walking along, you start to notice that the light's trickling through a little bit more. Although, of course, there's still some cloud cover, so it's not like bright sunlight. But nonetheless, there's a bit more light trickling through from the top of the trees, and you notice that there's more fallen leaves as you walk deeper into the forest. And these leaves all are sickly yellow. You stop for a moment and look about yourselves, and everybody give me a listen roll.
Ooh, something I'm good at.
It's everybody to be listening. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to find it.
Oh, it's extreme success though. But you got it.
What?
2.
Wow. Where is it? I can't find it on the sheet.
It's just like in the middle under L. It's one of the skills.
The sheet's kind of almost in alphabetical order. There's a few
Almost.
Not
exceptions.
quite.
It's below library use.
Middle towards the bottom-ish in theory. 2/3 the way down.
Okay,
middle.
I found it.
Don't forget to reset back to regular success. Although it looks like the only person who failed actually.
Gosh dang.
So, Benjamin Francis Proctor, you have no real standard of as far as expectation as to how quiet a particular forest is at any given point in time. So you're just like, well, that's interesting. Everybody else, give me a sanity roll because you realize that the quietness is oppressive. The quietness is almost complete. The only sound that you hear is your individual steps as they crunch across the tree floor. This bed of dead leaves. Your own breathing. You could even hear potentially each other's heartbeats.
One
Don't
off.
forget to reset your although extreme success you got it doesn't matter. But
Okay.
I don't know if it actually says that no matter what you set it to. Maybe it always says it even if it's
It
not.
says
Yeah.
it's extreme success if you get an extreme success no matter what it says.
Okay, well that's good to know. All right.
Kind of makes sense for me because like I've been looking for this location, so for my listening to be at 2, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. You're just
So-
absolutely razor focused.
You can't spend luck on sanity checks.
You
right?
cannot.
Cannot.
No, not at all.
One off. One off.
Is this a con? Is this a con roll for listening?
No. Con rolls are con rolls. This is a sanity roll. Those of you that failed, you lose 1 sanity.
No.
So what's the rule on like how much sanity you lose in a day?
1/2 of the sanity you started the day at, I believe.
Oh, okay. That's
Oh wow.
I've lost
Didn't
5.
You lost 5. Wasn't my first character only 12 sanity, Mike?
So your first character was 25 sanity, which was why I was saying is that if you had 25 sanity, you could very easily hit 12 sanity lost in a like. There was a D10 sanity loss roll. Like you could have woken up, lost D10 sanity, saw a dead body, and gone fucking nuts.
Nice. I want to expand on my
Hypothetical.
magic points.
Nora not doing great, but she's not insane yet.
This is it. This is it, guys. This is my dream.
Yeah. Once Chester saw the yellow leaves, he would have stopped everyone.
Yeah. Do you want to give me? You have like a nature or something kind of roll?
Yes. Natural world, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
natural
natural
world. That sounds right.
Nice. Very nice.
This is very much unnatural. This clearly dovetails with the things that you have seen in your dream. You have never ventured into this part of the forest particularly deeply. You've been here sometimes before, but you don't have any recollection of seeing this kind of like unnatural tree formation so consistently throughout the forest and this consistent yellowing of dead leaves at this time of year. It may be that this area of this forest has been like this and you simply haven't been here. You're not totally sure, but this is definitely unusual.
Math labs.
say
If it was Missouri, I would agree with you.
I've never seen anything in my 2.5 years in this forest. I've never seen anything like this. I don't know what we're going to be walking into if we keep going.
This is the moment then. Do we press on? All holds barred. Who knows what may happen? Or do we get out of here while we still have some sense and the ability to do so?
We-
How? Sorry, go ahead.
We've been warned, yes, but we can use a warning. We need not suffer the fate that was predicted.
How often do dreams tie back into actual reality? Have I known for people to experience dreams and then they turn out to be real?
You would have read a bunch of things that have anecdotal evidence of dreams turning out to be real that you probably would put a lot of stock in.
I would or wouldn't?
Would.
Yeah. Okay. Well, from my experience, what we've all been dreaming, it can turn out to be very, very much real. So,
Well, from if I remember correctly, only one of the dreams we were all together. So
That was mine, I think.
So as long as we don't enter any large bodies of water and avoid things to
splitting
the
up.
chest, perhaps we shall survive.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost Mr. Brady.
Think I'm coming back.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
it's
We've done nothing to offend this coven that we know of. Perhaps they are aiding us against these ruffians in the woods.
That's a very optimistic attitude. Hopefully you're right. I'll pull out my gun just in case.
I gonna put. I assume that I have a metal plate for my dinner when we eat and stuff. So I'm gonna put that in my chest area where I felt I got
Yeah,
stabbed
sure.
last time.
Not invalid. That's probably like one armor.
Yeah.
So with the woods, is it just the color of the leaves, or are the trees themselves and the arrangement unnatural?
The trees themselves are unnatural. The trees themselves look slightly weirdly gnarled and deformed.
Since we're stopped, Mr. Proctor is going to collect his camera and kind of take a picture of the area.
Chris never came back for me on the.
Yeah, I
Nice.
can't see my camera either.
Yeah, he's saying his internet's crapped
Yeah,
out.
this is a little like spinning.
It might be worth like turning off camera and trying turning it back on. Worked for me.
General
Try
IT
turning it on
advice,
and off
right?
again.
Well,
Precisely.
we're very close to wrapping this up.
Yeah.
I tried that already.
Unplug and replug.
So I guess just sort of unless there's something very specific you guys want to just chat about at this point.
No, just like Chester, Ranger Chester. Are you sure we have to go this way? Like, is there any other way we can proceed?
I mean, I don't know how large this deformation of the forest is. I mean, it's possible we could go around, but with the directions we were given, does go like through this, right? Yeah, we would be going through here, and I wouldn't want to get too far off of the directions we were given, because if we miss a landmark, we might not never find the cabin.
Fair point.
We know the men that we seek are disturbed. It is not unlikely that they are within this area.
Well, I suggest that we go as quietly as possible then through here, and I'd like to stealth as much as possible when we move forward. regardless if anybody else does or not.
Sure,
Yeah,
for
I
stealth
think
rolls.
that's a good idea.
What do you say, Mike?
Give me stealth rolls.
Is it a group thing where the weakest one has to do it, or can we all do it individually?
I think in this case, everybody just does it. We'll see who's not stealthy.
And that's not con, is it?
It is not. No. No, like, there's nothing really else as a con save or con roll besides an actual con.
Okay.
Which comes up in case of chases, which you guys avoided by killing the guy, or almost.
Damn, look at all that stealth.
Well,
Now I
I'm-
feel
I'm
bad
ca-
for saying
I'm carrying
something.
your bag.
Like,
That's what's holding me down.
So Chester's pretty quiet, but the rest of you, not so much.
Nora's just chain smoking and completely oblivious to the fact that this totally gives her away.
Only Nora can start forest fires. Sorry. Okay, no. Back to what we're doing. As you guys continue north, you're getting on into the latter half of the morning. You break through. The trees aren't quite so bad off and on. It's not consistently always these yellow trees. And in one slightly more verdant area, you break through into a clearing. You see a series of tents, but no sign of human habitation. As you approach cautiously, you see a series of paintings and other art-related supplies strewn across the ground, haphazardly, like this place has only been recently abandoned. And we will end at that.